Time for some tough talk, I think. Anybody who's been following my efforts on YouTube, not so much now, because I seem to be hacked the whole time there. Never got can't get access to it anyway. Somebody, I'm sure, can figure it out, but with my amount of skill, can't figure it out. So, on my Facebook now, so I guess everybody at CIA is down there watching, and good luck. And when I say good luck, I guess I say that cynically. I mean, the evil that has been done lives after them. The good is often terrored with their bones, so let it be with the CIA. Boys, you should have taken the bullet. Saved your souls. Boys and girls, regretfully. Anyway, not that I'm not looking for personal redemption. I'm trying to find forgiveness for everyone. And I very much recognize my own inequalities in some ways. We're all equal and different. That has been the foundation of my faith. And I think it's an honorable view. We are, after all, God's children. I mean, really, what could be better than that? You know, we've got to admit that somehow or other we've earned the right to be bipod humanoids, allegedly top of the food chain, and now about to extinguish ourselves through our own foolishness, about recognizing the fact that, in fact, of course, we're not alone in the universe. What an arrogance! What a medieval, pre-medieval view. But if you trace the history of cultures, you can see how desperate efforts are made to sustain what are perceived to be truths in those times, even if those truths are complete lies, you know. I mean, there's lots of evidence that suggests that sun worship emerged when the great fogs of time, the great ice ages, the disturbances, the biospheric disturbances, when the great volcanoes had their last blast. And, people did not believe there was such a thing as a sun in the sky because nobody's seen it for several hundreds of years, probably. Anyway, it does seem that, we've come out of those kinds of ignorance. We are not the center of the universe. We are the center of our own personal universes in the sense that, we are masters of our destiny, and to a significant extent, collectively, we are all masters of our own destiny. In a sense, we're all kings and queens in our own right. And by that I mean that by focusing our intelligence and our collective conscious awareness, we can in fact move forward. Now, obviously, just in the recent, as you probably know, I've been following what used to be known, what do they used to call it now? It's a great name anyway. Current affairs, right? Standing, as it were, mostly on the bank, watching the river rush, sometimes standing on a rock, sometimes being swept away, but always being conscious of what was going on around me and how it related to the well-being, not merely of my own survival, but of the people around me. And clearly, there's a big rumor out, it's probably true, that many, many men have dedicated themselves to doing wrong to encourage people to do right to stop them. Well, clearly that's an invasion of the human mind by some form. Now, in my view, that's what do they call it? I forgot what they call it now, but the reptilian stem survivalist brain that, probably brought in by the spermatozoa, which is always in a state of competitivism, in a sense, with its brothers, and that's probably where our competitive nature arises, survival. But in any event, once we encounter the ovum and get a split brain, then of course it's backwards and forwards in our own brain, whether in fact we should be doing that. And when, as the Eastern people have discovered that in fact we have several centers of power called chakras, and each one of those needs to be entertained, encouraged, or discouraged in its meanderings from the path, to the extent that we can discover the chi, and as the Chinese call it, some of the, I mean, don't claim I know anything about this really. I mean, I've studied it and so on, but when I see the way that these martial arts people can perform en masse, as it were, I think, well, I don't think our our martial arts people are quite up to that. So we have to talk tough to the Canadian government. We have to talk tough to the RCMP. We have to talk tough as a people who have tolerated long-suffering and appalling fraud brought about by one of the trustees, at least, who's still alive, and that's Mr. Chrétien. It's regretful that this late in his life he has to confront the fact that he did a great harm to the Canadian people. He brought them into the hands of the corrupted mafioso, corrupted bankers, corrupted corporate forms, and he sold out his country. I blew the whistle on it then with the RCMP. If I could find a good lawyer, I would probably walk in again and say, it's been 41 years. But my friends say, John, wait, it's moving. Don't throw yourself in the fire yet. Realize that it's possible that they are getting the message, that they are listening, that they do know that what you're saying is the truth. They do know that this appalling fraud has just gone on for too long, and the Canadian people deserve better from their police force. If we're a police state, then let it be an honourable police state, not a corrupt bunch of bullies who sold themselves out to, what can I say, evil, corrupted people. Either we're going to be a civilized country that will lead the world back to a new sense of good order, good peace, love and harmony, and live up to what was earned by many, many deaths, and that is Canada, a peaceful example. And we will follow those nations that place happiness and freedom from world corrupt banksters. And we will see a redistribution of wealth. And we will turn back the threat of extinction. And we will do that because we will have the help of people of light. And so I welcome young Mr. Bonner and that young man from England. Boy, I'm not good. Russell Brand. Why do I have trouble with that? Oh. And Alex Wells. Well, see, when the tongue runs away, the verbal diarrhea follows shortly, so I'll let it go. God bless, happy trails, and I'm going to call this Talking Tough. Mr. Paulson, it's time to arrest the Prime Minister of Canada, the Cabinet of Canada, and the cabinets across the country. This is the only honourable role you have at this point. And then let us bring in a caretaker government to bring this country back to a sense of sanity before we tumble deeper into the morass of civilization's collapse. And we're not going to do that, Mr. Paulson, so get on side right now. And all the boys out there on the beat, we're expecting all of you now to take an oath to uphold creation. And what does that mean? It means every single blade of grass that you encounter, you show it respect. And more importantly, you show your fellows respect. Thank you.